Hey, what's up, everyone? You are listening or watching episode 31 of my comic book journey podcast. I'm your host, KNDY. And today's topic will be about Marvel Superhero Secret Wars issue number 1 as part of a 12-issue limited series. So this one was released back in May 1984 through Marvel Comics, and the writer was Jim Shooter, penciler Michael Zeck, inker John Beatty, letter Joe Rosen, colorist Christie Scheele, and editor was Tom DeFalco. You know, my very first post of the My Comic Books Journey blog, I wrote about Contest of Champions being an epic limited series. It was the first for Marvel Comics, but what followed in 1984 was no doubt truly epic. And it would have long-lasting ramifications in other comic book series such as The Avengers, The Amazing Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, The Thing, The Uncanny X-Men, and more. It's a series that it's a series that pretty much launched the black symbiote costume for Spider-Man, which would eventually become Venom. The comic would introduce Julia Carpenter, the second Spider-Woman, the creation of villains Titania and Volcana. It was a series that could create fiction between Colossus and Kitty Pryde, who were a lovey-dovey couple back then for the Uncanny X-Men. The Thing on a downward spiral and choosing to live on Battleworld and leaving the Fantastic Four, which would lead to She-Hulk joining the group. And for the most part, it would be a series that would really have a major impact on the Marvel Universe. It was also a series that led to action figures, and it was one of the biggest memorable moves made by editor-in-chief and writer Jim Shooter, and is considered one of the greatest comics ever. Let's go ahead and look at this page right here. And you can see just these panels with all of them, just wondering where the heck are they? And just them in the battle world, you know, they just it's just an interesting thing because, you know, not all the superheroes got along together, even though the Uncanny X-Men were good guys and even the Avengers were the good guys. Those two were always at each other's throat, especially with Magneto there with them. So it was an interesting series. Needless to say, I definitely loved the Secret Wars. The series begins with heroes and villains being transported into space by the Beyonder. Separated into two structures in space, the heroes consist of the Avengers, which is Wasp, She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, Captain America, Thor, Hawkeye, and Iron Man. The Uncanny X-Men featuring Storm, Nightcrawler, Rogue, Cyclops, Wolverine, Colossus, and Kitty's dragon Lockheed. And then Spider-Man, the Incredible Hulk, and the Fantastic Four members, Mr. Fantastic, The Thing, and Human Torch. And to everyone's surprise, Magneto. In the other structure, there was the Enchantress, Ultron, Kang, Molecule Man, Dr. Doom, the Wrecking Crew, Absorbing Man, Thunderball, Piledriver, Bulldozer, Lizard, Dr. Octopus, and Galactus. As the heroes bicker why Magneto's on their structure, Ultron goes on the attack against any humans. And while Beyonder has told everyone that they will be involved in a secret war to fight for a prize, Dr. Doom sees it as an opportunity to achieve power, and by sticking with Galactus, hopefully he can obtain some of that power. As Captain America is chosen the leader of the heroes, Dr. Doom, who doesn't want to be around the villains, plans to leave but is shot down by Kang. What will happen when heroes and villains collide? Overall, Marvel Superheroes was no doubt a limited series that I absolutely loved as a child, and while I had to give my initial collection, which I collected every single issue, I gave it up as a teenager. I have not been I got the trade paperback, but I've not been able to recollect everything in a I guess you could say cheaper lot. It's so hard. I mean I read again, you know, during my college years, and I'm reading it again. It's just one of those series that you just want to read over and over and over. But yeah, I just remembered back when this was first released, I wanted every issue, and I got every issue. Was fortunate, but then, you know, once I had to give up the collection, trying to recollect everything has been not. You know, I guess if you want to plunk down the money to get all issues, you can as in a lot. But I just, you know, just been reading the trade paperback and just slowly buying each issue all over again because it's pretty expensive. But for the most part, Yeah, I just remember looking at this cover, and it's just it's such a wonderful first cover for this limited series. I think it's definitely one of my favorite, one of my favorite storylines with all superheroes together. Civil War was cool. I know that happened later, and I did read some of that. But this one though, this one in Contest of Champions was really interesting because it brought everybody from the Marvel Universe together. But this one, you have the heroes versus villains, and it's a game. And it's just to see how things would go throughout the series. You think it's going to be plain as day. The heroes are going to win. But just remember, with Galactus on the other side, that kind of makes things slightly more difficult. So that's pretty much it for Marvel Superhero Secret Wars. Just a wonderful comic book. If you're able to get it, especially find it for a great price, then kudos to you, because this one is definitely one of the better ones. Again, if you don't want to spend the money, you can find a trade paperback and enjoy that as well. So, okay, everyone, you take care, and I will see you later. Wink, wink, and later, everyone. Bye-bye.